Good evening, aliens and robots and other beings that we think exist in the vast reaches of space. Welcome to Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread in RPG. My name is Philip, and I am the Dreadmaster, and surrounding me are some of my most favorite people in the world, the wonderful players. But, what?
Point of order, we're not technically surrounding you. I'm looking at the screen now.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
We're not, in fact, encompassed.
To some of my sides.
He was trying to compliment us.
Emotionally surrounding him?
They emotionally crushing me. Emotionally.
Auditorily.
I'm going to do. I was about to do this not on stream, but then we said I'll do it while I'm live. I have to post the going live in our Discord. You know the thing that bothers everyone when they get pinged with an @everyone every time we go live?
Love it.
Somebody said, your Discord, your rules, Philip, and I said, okay, cool.
That's fair.
Hell yeah, it is.
It's live now. Come join us on Twitch. Boom. Send now. @everyone. When people say don't @me, they're mostly talking about Twitter, right?
No, they're talking about don't. Well, yes.
Yeah, mostly, but
yes.
yeah, Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's the format in which that's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love the amount of W's we had.
I try. Did you guys know that there's a resource management game based on like a resource management phone game called The Office Somehow We Manage? That's just like you just like run the office and use all like little cartoon versions of the characters from that NBC sitcom.
No.
I was unaware of that thing.
I feel like for some reason that's just like peak, like okay, so just everything's commoditized to the great.
Truly. I mean, look, under capitalism, everything is about profit. Nothing is about the joy of it or the benefit that it provides to the average person.
It's true. Anyway, we'd like to do this. We have a little plug. Hold on for Amazon, which owns this. Amazon. If you want to buy it, some version of it's probably on Amazon. Amazon.
Eat fresh.
That's, you know what's funny about that? That's actually funny because Eat Fresh is the motto of another restaurant, of another business. That's a restaurant.
No.
Fresh.
Subway, guys, I'm not a fan of Subway. Just gotta say it. This past Monday, I also have to issue a retraction apology. This past Monday, I really called out two Shakespearean actors. So I'm supposed to say I'm sorry to both Derek Jacobi and Helen Mirren for the comments I made in this past Monday.
What did you say to them? How dare you just...
I just pointed out how incredibly overrated both of them are and how they haven't done good work in decades.
Extremely rude.
And I mean, I'm just supposed to say I'm sorry that I said those things.
You should.
You're sorry you said it, but you're not. You don't take it back.
This is one of those non-apologies.
I'm supposed to say, if anyone was offended, well, all right.
Well, I'm sorry you were offended then.
I'm sorry you.
That's
took
not
it
an
that
apology.
way.
I'm actually not sorry they were offended.
I just made this connection. I feel like in the way that like Helen Mirren is aging well and gracefully and like is still hot as shit at however old she is, I feel like Kate Blanchett as her Sith apprentice in that category.
Sure, that feels right. And I also agree that Kate Blanchett hasn't done anything worthwhile in a long time. I agree with you.
Wow.
I'm gonna need you to leave this planet.
This is the real domain of dread that we're in tonight.
Oh man.
Insulting people that I really look up to.
You know who hasn't aged? Cheryl Lee Ralph.
I don't know who that is.
Who's that?
No one. She's an actress. Y'all are racist. No, she was the mom on Moesha.
On what?
Moesha?
I don't know that.
Never mind.
That's a youth thing, not a race thing for Dan. I think.
Yes.
She was the mother or the stepmother technically on Moesha, and now she's on Abbott Elementary. And the woman looks like they picked her up out of the 90s and flopped her in 2022. no aging. That
Do you know
happened
if
to her.
Moesha was one of the shows that like moved to the CW, or was it over before the merger happened?
It was over before that merger happened. It was on UPN.
Now that I know. Hey, if there's one thing I can tell you guys, it's what
It was
shows,
definitely pre-CW.
It's what shows were on UPN and what shows were on CW. But what I'm not as good at telling you is which shows made the leap.
We need to talk about Taina on Taina.
What?
Did nobody watch that?
Taina?
I don't know.
TV show. I think it's Taina.
I also,
Anyway,
I guess.
That's neither here nor there.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of people who are aging, I was having a discussion with friends earlier today. Of the Chris's, Chris Pine is the only one who is aging, and he's like escaped the Marvel machine. Which is why I think. But he's like aging well. It's not like he's like looks old. He's like is like actually going through a natural aging process.
Yeah, he's allowing himself to age as opposed to
Evans, Pratt, and Hemsworth.
Evans is aging. What are you talking about?
What?
Evans is aging.
I just
But
watched.
he's not showing it as blatantly.
I just
as-
watched like the first
Maybe that's
45
just 'cause
minutes
he's
of The
unproblematic.
Gray Man. And I
Is
was
that
like,
good?
It seemed okay so far. It kind of just seems like all movies now, which is like sort of what we were just talking about earlier. But it wasn't bad. I'll certainly finish it. And also I've just been told I need to issue an apology to Cate Blanchett, along with Derek Jacobi and Helen Mirren.
You need to apologize to me and Liv too.
Yeah.
I know that you'll say something.
I need you a pre-apology?
Yeah.
Pre-apologize.
So go ahead.
I'd like to pre-apologize to Liv and Lauren. I didn't mean it the way you heard it.
Well, and you know why you need the pre-apology, because that just smooths everything up for the actual apology.
I will not apologize to the man I humiliated at the gym today who did not know about comic books but was trying to impress a girl by saying things that were incorrect about comic books.
That's the word.
And I embarrassed him by correcting him in front of her.
What was he? Okay, but what was he saying though?
She was asking why all superheroes are from New York, and he's like, they were discussing it. He was making up some reason, and I just shot out because I knew this would already start a fight. I was like, well, Spider-Woman's from San Francisco. And she was like, yeah, women can be superheroes too. And he kind of like rolled his eyes and he was like, I've never even heard of her. He was like, well, Wonder Woman's from Brazil. And I was like, no, she's from Themyscira. And he was like, oh, I was thinking of the actress. No, the actress is from Israel. You were thinking of the fact that the Amazon is in Brazil and you know they're called Amazons.
That's really
And then he was like, well, Batman's from Arkham. And I'm like, again.
This guy's wrong in so many
Batman
levels.
is from Gotham.
I feel like I'm about to tell a story that's in the wrong direction because there's something that I love about a certain kind of wrongness, and but this is a bad story because but it's not. I'm not saying this is about women. I once made the claim. I'm not saying it about women. I've already pre-apologized. This will be fine. I once made a claim when I was at work and I heard one of the bosses there talking to someone about who her daughter dressed as for Halloween. And this woman was trying to explain, well, she was Amidala or was she Padme? She's like, well, she was she wasn't Leia, she was Padme or something. And I didn't say anything because I don't do that. But but in my head, I was like, moms always get it about 80% right on Star Wars. That's my take, is that moms, I'm talking about like moms of whatever. So I mentioned that when I was with my mom and all her college friends, and one of her college friends goes, oh, that's ridiculous. I loved Star Wars. I always had a huge crush on Mark Harmon. And I was like, she's 80% there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
almost.
Oh yeah,
almost there.
Away.
Listen, we mess up names. Who doesn't mess up the Chris's, right?
God. Yeah, I don't
honestly,
know.
I bet moms don't mess up the Chris's. I bet moms know exactly.
Choosy moms know Chris's.
Moms know Chris's. Yeah, let's make a T-shirt. Sell them in the long
Hey, you know what? You know who a mom's favorite Chris is? Kris Kardashian. Guys, let's go ahead and.
Kris Jenner, actually, but.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
Kris Jenner for the past
It's been a while.
20 years.
Yeah.
More
than that. Yeah.
I only know her from the People versus O.J. Simpson. Did you guys watch that show? It's really good.
No.
The Ryan Murphy
What?
People versus O.J. Simpson. Like
Yeah.
all my irony gone. Strongly recommend that. It's
But the new season of American Horror Stories just started, and the first episode was good.
It's really doll-centric, right?
It's super doll-centric.
I meant to keep
Don't
texting
like it.
with you about that.
It's so creepy, and I loved it.
I need to
It was
watch
good.
it.
How many seasons of American Horror Story do I need to catch up
There's
on?
American Horror Story and then American Horror Stories.
You can just like jump
I can
into
just
anyone.
dive in raw.
American Horror Stories is an anthology where each episode is its own thing, and they tie into the American Horror Story show, but they're individually contained episodes, so that's easier to jump into, probably. Anyway, it was doll-centric. It made me happy.
I've seen the posters for it, and I meant to text all of you about it.
So Philip, we're probably wondering why you've called us here tonight.
Yeah, I was about to say this just turned into a chatting about my many misdeeds.
Anyway,
We're here to play a game. I'm going to
D&D.
I'm going to do it this way for the. Wait, do I read the invocation and then do a recap, or in this one do I do a recap then do the invocation? I don't remember.
I think you do the recap and then the invocation.
Yes, for this
Yeah.
I do, but for other one, yes, you are so right. All right, recap. After numerous events across numerous planes, in various landmark situations where we've flitted about and caught up with the Dahlias and the Sarah Quills and all sorts of things. Last week brought a rather different milieu here to Rocket Base 95, in which S.A. Rawlings, an android named Pascal, and an oubliette, or an oubliette, named Juliet, conveniently, awoke within a strange chamber. One that had 13 cabinets surrounding it, and 2 large circular windows, one on the floor and one above them, that seemingly looked out into the void of space. However, in the window above them, several meters away, there was a drone that seemed to be sort of hovering slightly, but kind of keeping pace with the position of whatever it is they're inside. They might be on a station, they might be aboard a ship, they might be on an isolated thing. They're not sure. There are these 13 white cabinets around the room so far. These cabinets have opened to reveal certain things, and it seems that the group sort of quickly began to realize that they were being shown things that they feared. Pascal, for example, awoke without any of his transmission equipment installed, and all he could find was a broken short-range transmitter that sort of frustrated him and made him feel even more useless. S.A. Rawlings had a much more sort of pointed fear delivery system in which a very familiar meal was presented to him, beginning with silver cups of coffee and amuse-bouche with a bready texture and a blood-like taste, and then numerous delicious appetizers, sourdough bread with fresh herb and lobster butter, let's see, what else was there? Oysters Rockefeller, crab puffs, Bismarck herring, antipasto, venison terrine. The point is, these dishes came out and Rawlings realized whence he'd seen them before. Or rather, read about them in a novel called A Taste of Paradise. Which is the reason that he, as he then revealed to the others trapped here with him, that he fears food, that he is afraid of consuming food and having solids inside of him. It terrifies him. That's why he drinks his weird shakes. In fairness to him, in space, it's much easier to be like, I'll only take protein shakes. They're much more readily available than they were, back in Merger. But he is now getting this fearsome...
In space, no one can hear you throw up from eating disgusting food.
There you go. So now that he's sort of stuck here, he's realizing that they're really trying to get him to eat. However, both Pascal and Juliet consumed a fair bit of the food that had been presented to him thus far. Pascal wound up consuming the amuse-bouche. It was as revolting as he feared. He gave into his terror, and Juliet noticed that above him a light turned on that drone. one little purple light that was surrounding the red light at the center, some kind of like viewing port. As she pointed that out to the others, however, another cabinet fell open, and within it was an oubliette corpse that had been butchered in the horrifying method of a serial killer named Mr. Unzipper. And Juliet is very familiar with Mr. Unzipper, who likes to take the oubliettes, who look like this, and kind of unzip them from all the way from their top sensor sacs to their bottom appendage sacs. Because I make up normal aliens. It is also uncertain. There's many sort of like rumors or conjectures as to whether or not Mr. Unzipper is himself. Also, they call him Mr. Unzipper. It might be Mrs. Unzipper, but so far it seems like it's Mr. Unzipper. Is Mr. Unzipper also an oubliette? Is Mr. Unzipper some other kind of being? But unbeknownst to the group, Juliet has a more personal connection to Mr. Unzipper, which I don't believe she has shared, but we did randomly roll, and it was utterly macabre. So, with that in mind, as she then spins out in terror her 360-degree view from her many sensor sacs, making her unable to not look at the body, she noticed a second purple light ignite above her. And with that, we will begin chapter 57 with the following invocation. There are no enemies in science, only phenomena to be studied. Rawlings. Oh, this is amazing. Rawlings. You notice as Juliet is kind of like flipping out, and you yourself are just coming down from that fear, that Pascal, the android, is kind of looking at the device in his hand and watching as it is seemingly like disassembling in front of him. And he too succumbs to his fear. He basically leans back onto one of the 3 cots in the middle of the room, the one that he woke up on, and as he kind of sits on that cot, he begins kind of just growing incredibly blank, and then he falls over.
Can I go over and ask if he's all right? Pascal, are you okay? Is everything... kind of feel the sloshing in my stomach. Pascal, you're right.
Pascal does not reply. Now, Rawlings, you have been around him, so you understand the nature of him, but could you please make for me, from Rocket Rawlings, just a good old-fashioned technical roll?
Ooh, boy.
To see if you fully understand this.
It's 4.
A 4. You don't know what could be going on. You understand that he is not like you, so you're hesitant to say, oh, he's sick or dying, because you're not even sure that's the right term, but you have no context for what's happening to the man. What is your sense?
My sense?
Your sense is 3D plus 1. Okay. In that case, I will say you don't notice anything, and as Juliet is like continuing to sort of be very frightened by everything that has gone on, I don't think your sense is high enough to sort of notice something passively at this time.
So I'm going to look around, and now that it seems that all of us have had some kind of triggering event, has anything about the room changed?
Make a look roll, or a sense roll rather. It's under dread. Yeah.
I can do math. That's 10.
With a 10. Aside from that cabinet that opened, no, there's no more food has been presented. The cabinets don't seem to have opened up any further stuff. It seems to be largely as things have been left.
In that case, I'll look up the drone that I noticed earlier, and I'll just kind of yell like, what more do you want from us? What is this? What is this sick game you are playing?
You look up at the drone? I'll actually give it to you for looking at the drone. We'll it'll take you a moment to realize no response comes, but you do notice that there are now 3 lights around the outside.
Are there 3 or are there 4?
No matter what you're told. Actually, no. I'll go the other direction. There are 3 lights. You have to believe me. There technically are 4 lights because there's a red light in the center, but now there's 3 purple lights around the side.
In that case, I'll go. No response. I'll go. I'll kind of like tentatively walk a little closer to Juliet, a creature who I do not understand physiologically or mentally. Juliet, are you all right? Excuse me. Hello? Are you there? Present?
I resisted, right? There was the fear.
You did not. So
But
you are now coming out of it.
Okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. Can I inspect this dead body? Is it like a real oubliette or is it a mannequin?
Excellent. Yeah, go ahead and do I think
Insight? Sense?
I think it would just be a sense roll. I think it would just be you're kind of using your sensor sacks. You may even be touching it with an appendage sack here or there.
3, 4, 5.
People
6.
don't like that they're called sacks, and I'm all about it.
Touching it with my sensor sack. I didn't explode, but I didn't get a 1 either, so that's fine. 10, 20, 23.
You believe that this is an actual oubliette corpse, as far as you can tell.
It's an actual corpse?
Yes. However, as you move through it, you do find 3 power cubes. You can pocket those. Rawlings, also you find 3 power cubes on a.
Do we eat power cubes? Are they edible?
Yeah, you can. We'll say it. You can put them down your top hole and keep them. Yeah, that's fine. You can eject them when needed, as if if it has to happen.
Can I detect the gender of this one?
Female.
No. They must have been very scared.
This oubliette, you see, obviously to a lot of people, we think all of them look the same, but, to you understand, this oubliette is not only female, this oubliette fits the profile.
This oubliette fits what?
The profile.
Of the victims?
Yeah. He was into oubliettes, the ones who have that kind of sensor sacks.
Oh, those kind of sensor sacks. Yeah. Did they ever catch him? They never caught, or him or her. They never caught them.
Never caught Mr. Unzipper.
So I don't know if this is really the Unzipper or if it's just a copycat meant to inspire fear in me.
Right.
Can I read the fortune of the oubliette that's dead to find out what happened to them?
To read the fortune of one who is dead. I'm deeply into this, so let's give it a try. You will need a pretty darn high roll for this, but yeah, give it a shot.
Okay. Ooh, we did a good roll. Okay. That is 10, 20, 31.
31. It's very hard to take the fortune of one who's dead, because in some ways their fortune is already known.
Right.
Nevertheless, you do get a sense of you see something in those portents, whether they are an actual sort of supernatural ability or you just kind of seeing probabilities. But you do feel that you see this corpse basically being dumped into a biomatter converter. Many living beings sort of say, kind of yeah, sure, just toss me in a biomatter when I'm done for, get some use out of me. But this one, you're almost positive that this corpse will be disposed of in that kind of hyper efficient manner. Juliet the Oubliette, based on this and based on kind of a sense of the way it's being handled, I would love for you to make a mental roll. You don't have any specific things. There's just roll a mental.
Mental. Okay.
Mental.
That's just 3 of these little.
Just 3 of those little ones, and make sure you're rolling that exploding friend, or sometimes the dread die, who sometimes causes trouble.
I rolled low, but the dread die was not. I rolled 2 ones, but neither one was the dread die.
A good feeling. So what does that get
So
you
that's
to?
5.
You kind of like try to dig a little deeper, not literally, because she's been unzippered, so you can get to everything easily. But
yeah,
your
everything's pretty available.
But you just don't have like the expertise in like anatomy. You're no coroner, so you can't kind of determine anything more than that. You just know that this is an oubliette who would have fit the profile as a victim, and you suspect that this corpse is destined for a biomatter converter, which is a grim fate.
It's a very grim fate. Didn't she have anyone who cared for her?
That your readings have not revealed.
So, I'm sorry. I don't remember if I asked you before. My everything's a little hazy because of just this massive weight within my stomach, which is absolutely disgusting.
Just spit it out.
I honestly, getting it down was already bad.
No, your words.
How did you get here? I'm trying to see if there's any kind of pattern I'm noticing.
I woke up here like the rest of you.
But again, do you remember what you were doing beforehand?
I was in my stall reading fortunes, and then the world went dark.
Interesting. Okay. Wait, so in this world there are fortune tellers. Interesting.
What do you mean? They're not fortune tellers where you're from.
Well, I mean there are, but it always seemed to me like such a different sort of, I mean, not a science per se, and this is such a technologically advanced place that it does shock me that there is some sort of mysticism here.
You not believe in it?
Oh no, I believe highly in it. I'm just shocked to find it here.
Just because science is advanced doesn't mean that mysticism has to go away.
No, I'm delighted to be proven wrong. Yes.
In fact, what you consider magic may just be technology you don't understand yet.
I mean, that is quite a possibility. Yes. I mean, yes, yeah, that's very fair. I mean, until I understand it, then it is, and then once I understand it, then I can control it. Yes. Anyway, how the hell are we going to get out of here if they're not responding?
And Juliet, I also want to point out, you really were, even though you can see in all directions you were focused, you now are noticing that the other human you were in here with is like laying, like open-eyed on his cot.
Open-eyed on his what?
On his cot.
On his cot. Just.
Yeah, just kind of like on his side, like.
Can I get a sense of how he's doing?
Go over and make another your vision. I mean, you can see him, no roll required. Go ahead and do a mental on this though. Let's do kind of a sort of
I have to do my job.
You know even less about human anatomy, but you can sort of give a shot for.
It's a 2.
A 2.
Yeah.
You sort of like, you kind of look at him and you realize, you're like, wait a second, I don't know how human sacks work. And you kind of
Where are his sacks? Why are they not inflated if he is in trouble?
Yeah.
Generally there's like 1 or 2, depending on how you want to look at it. If they are inflated, then they are in trouble.
Ew.
In in any case, you're not sure what is now wrong with him, but
can I turn to the sensor floating above me and yell out, "I don't like this"?
the sensor just sort of seems to stare back down coldly. You definitely notice that there are now 3 purple dots around the red central dot.
If nothing is changing, then I am just going to start slowly, meticulously, methodically inspecting every inch of this room.
Understood. As you walk towards the cabinet to do an inspection, it opens to reveal 2 bottles of very expensive wine.
That's fine.
And let's see, 4 large salads meant to be shared. There is a king Caesar, a crab Louis, an iceberg wedge, and a mozzarella alla caprese platter.
I thought we had already been done with this. I look back up the drawer. I already ate. What do you want?
No reply.
It would appear they want you to eat more.
And Rawlings, at this point, you remember the meat and the sides and the dessert.
I'll still yet to
will
come.
come.
Yes.
It's just getting warmed up.
I will not. This is I'm not saying this out loud. I'm just my thought process right now is I will not let this. I will not let something so simple as food stand in the way of my path to become one of the traverses of these mists. So I will do this. I will not like it. First, I'm going to grab one of the bottles of wine.
Okay.
Is it red or white?
They're both red.
Great, fantastic, great. Don't want that sugar rush from the white wine. I'll uncork it. I assume there's a corkscrew there or something.
It's actually not even corked already. It's it's already breathing.
Oh well. I mean, then that's also. Are there any cutlery or utensils or stuff?
Yes.
Great.
There
Okay.
There are plates and sort of serving forks and salad forks.
Okay. Noted. I'm gonna chug half a bottle of wine.
Understood. So as Rawlings begins to put the wine down the hatch, Juliet, are you doing anything as Rawlings starts drinking?
The wine?
Mm-hmm.
I want to yell at the frickin' thing, but I don't want him to hear what I have to say.
Understood.
So,
I suppose you could yell at it in your own language if you thought that the thing would understand. You suspect Rawlings would not, but...
Can I say a test statement that it would not let him know anything to see if he knows?
Rawlings, you hear Juliet the Oubliette making strange sounds. You're muted,
Lots of
unfortunately.
raspberries.
I look over and I just go, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine. Did you not, Oh, I see.
Oh, that's your language. Oh, fascinating.
So in my language, I'm going to start yelling at the thing. This was not part of the deal. I never agreed to this.
Excellent. As you sort of let loose your frustrations as Rawlings consumes the part of this that's not hard for him to consume, we're going to cut away to someplace else. Elutella.
Yes.
You took an opportunity while on that planet. Again, we're skipping ahead, so there's some decisions have been made on your guys' behalf. Apologies.
That is understandable.
That that drifter gentleman who kind of brought you all there, he was clearly playing for a different side than the one that you realize you work for. So when he was putting Rawlings aboard a space transport that they had there within their shroud, you stowed away on that very vessel.
As one does.
The ship was taken by an Arlington Grith cruiser. Everyone aboard had been stunned, but not you, because you were hiding. So we're kind of like doing like some cut flashback, things showing Elutella hiding. So Elutella, you've been hiding aboard that vessel for a while. It was brought into some kind of hangar. You then heard various Arlington Grith employees board, and you heard them like talking to each other, like, all right, yeah, let's load these in. What about the Gascanian? He's fine. We'll wake him up and do it. But they wanted this guy, and they bring Rawlings with them. Seemingly his Gascanian pilot, those are like the big, like bronze-colored sort of crab-like people. That guy, you heard them just saying like they're just kind of like putting him in some kind of detention area. As is apparently a sort of labor union thing, but Rawlings apparently was their target. So you heard them take Rawlings off. You did not feel it was safe to emerge from the vessel at this point. However,
Yes.
as you waited there, you noticed that one of the computers on the vessel illuminated right next to you. And a text command line printed up. And it said, "You are the servant of Ugeltlur. Prompt Y/N."
I will. Do I feel compelled to select a certain thing, or is this of my own volition?
Of your own volition.
I will select Y.
Understood.
Yes.
If you were compelled, it would be to select that anyway, for you are.
Well, I feel that at this point I may as well align myself with the Overlord, which has infiltrated my mind, because that seems like the most logical path.
Understood. I am the awareness. You will assist me. Y/N.
Why? And my wings will like flutter. Can I run and analyze on this system?
Please.
Perhaps? Okay, 5. Ooh, that's not terrible. 15. 19.
19. This is a rather standard AG computer system. It has all their standard encryptions, which means with a 19, it is certainly not like foolproof for someone to hack.
Okay.
It's a part of like the greater AG, network.
Oh, fair enough. But the fact that it has the ability to communicate with me, is that significant?
Somebody like sending you.
Yes, the fact that it's saying something like very specific to me and my experience.
This would make you think it's either an incredible hacker or perhaps you're not really sure the nature of this thing, the awareness, but
Okay.
you're definitely getting a vibe that you may be speaking to some powerful entity who you were commanded to work for by Ugeltlur. I know it's been a very long time since you've been Elutella. I think you do remember that, but
I do. Yes, well, we will proceed. Yes.
All right. The awareness says, or the prompt line says, if it is the awareness, it is the awareness, but we're not gonna. The prompt line basically says, you are on a facility with an air-gapped central unit. Elatella, make a tech roll to see if you understand what is meant by that.
Oh.
You're probably pretty, and you could, if you have hack specifically, you would.
I do have hack.
Then roll hack. Actually, what is your hack dice?
5.
Never mind. You don't have to roll anything. You understand that basically what the awareness is telling you is that you are aboard some kind of AG facility, and they have a system on this facility that is not connected to the network. That is so in other words, someone cannot hack into it.
So is it intended, do I get the sense that it is intended to subvert the primary functions of the vessel, or that it is just a property of the ship?
It's a secure location. Your understanding of something that is air-gapped is if they don't want anyone to be able to hack it, like if you don't want someone to look at this unless they're physically there, then you air-gap it and it's not connected to any network but its own internal network.
So it was not placed by some other organization that was not building the ship. It's
no,
part
this
of the ship.
whatever research facility station you're on, whatever substation you are aboard, must be a super high security station.
Understood.
And basically the awareness is asking you to go into the air-gapped section and to get all the information and to bring it to them.
Okay. Is there a way to type back, or is it just a yes/no?
You have a full keyboard. You can type anything you want.
Okay. Can I say in very technical terms, will the information be on a hard drive
Irrelevant.
of some sort? Okay. Will it be downloaded into my corporeal being?
Improbable.
Well, I wouldn't think so.
You will bring me the information within the air-gapped section. Y/N.
Why? I'll do a smiley face.
You do a smiley face?
Sure. And I think that she would have the knowledge to know that it would not set off any like weird hacker thing. Well, I don't know. That's not for me to decide.
That die actually explodes. So that's 6.
Oh dear.
So that's 18.
Show's over.
In response, semicolon, right parentheses.
Winky face. Yes. We will. Okay. You see, I learned how to communicate with my colleagues in a more friendly way by using these various combinations of punctuation. Okay. Oh, you can hear me. Oh, it can hear me. Wait, can it hear me? Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Irrelevant.
Oh, good. Yes. Okay. Well, information. I will get it to you. Do you have access to? This is a ridiculous question. I assume it's yes. Do you have access to the other computers on the ship? May I give you the information through those, or does it have to be from this specific device?
Confirm.
Okay. Anyone? Any?
Every single computer bank lights up for a moment, kind of like doing like a.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very connected. Yes, I see. I will see if I can find the information and will disseminate it to you. Smile emoji. I will go.
Understood.
And I will look for the
Elatella,
nearest.
you walk
Yes.
out of. Elatella leaves the sort of darkened, like, largely deactivated ship that Rawlings and his pilot were aboard.
Yes.
The camera lingers there for a few moments. as the computer returns angry, frowny face. And then all of them briefly light up with that angry face. Meanwhile, Rawlings and Juliet the Oubliette are stuck in their fun little nest.
Our torture cave.
It's a little torture cave.
It's
torture lab, I guess.
I don't know what it is, but it's not fun.
Who said it was fun? Who are you talking to?
I don't know. I just sometimes the voices.
You should perhaps see a doctor about that.
I mean, you're the one who's the mystical one. I say like between chugs of wine.
You're the mystic.
Yeah.
Glug, glug, glug.
Kicking back some, I'm sure
Is
in
he still
today's
working on the
prices,
first
these
bottle,
are
or
like
has-
$500 bottles.
I'm trying to get through like 2/3 of the first bottle before I like force myself to eat some more food. All right, I'm gonna wait like 10 minutes so I can start to like get a little head rush.
Sounds good.
Can I eat any of the food that's present?
Of
Or is there anything I cannot eat?
what is present, there's Caesar. This should all be fine. Yeah, mozzarella alla caprese. That should be fine. That's the only one I
Do I have a lactose problem?
roll a physical.
Am I Jewish?
I'm a Jewish oubliette.
I'm a Jewish oubliette. I can say that because I am Jewish. All right, that is 12.
We will say that actually, Juliet, some oubliettes are known to have problems with like huge amounts of dairy, but we'll say that Juliet the oubliette is a pretty good eater.
Okay. So I'll just pick up the mozzarella salad and toss it back and be like, I don't understand what the big deal is.
It's like a shareable like a group size
Giant thing.
Yeah, just like the sounds. The sounds are just like I twitch each time. There's like a little like bing or bong
and each of your sensor sacs, which for the record are eyeballs that are also tongues, as each one just enjoys each one just kind of like enjoys like the delightful mixture of like fresh basil and kind of balsamic. And it's such a delicious thing to be slathering on your eye tongues. And
no, thank you.
Just making
yeah, Rawlings is having some trouble. Rawlings, you also know that once again the food you're meant to be eating is now being consumed by someone else.
I'm gonna eat some. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to dump. So there's a serving dish now that is partially empty from Juliet having consumed from it.
Correct.
I'm going to dump some more of the food in there. Actually, I'm gonna empty that out. I'm gonna empty that one out on top of another one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use it in like a mortar and pestle type thing, where I'm gonna use the empty one to crush down the food in the bowl to make it a little more broken up, so that I don't have to do as much chewing and it's easy to swallow on the way.
And what's really good is this course is lettuce. It's just she just consumed the least chewy one. She just consumed just the tomato slices and whatever. Yeah. So now all you're left with is lettuce and big pieces of crab and like one of them an iceberg wedge.
Chunky croutons, right? The Caesar.
Yeah, it's crispy bacon. It's a lot.
Wait, is it a true Caesar salad? Does it have anchovies on it?
Oh yeah.
Crispy bacon, tomatoes.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a king Caesar salad, which is just
like King Emperor salad.
It's a super fancy one. So you mix it all together.
Yeah. It's all disgusting to me regardless.
Poor Rawlings.
You know what I'm gonna do?
For the record, everyone, this meal that's being presented to him is absolutely delicious.
Oh,
it's only him who doesn't want it. It sounds so good.
It
And he's rooting it. If anybody here knows if anybody here watches, I think you should leave with Tim Robinson and knows what a sloppy steak is. That's basically the vibe that Rawlings is bringing to this.
I'm also going to take like about a third of the other bottle of wine and pour it in there to kind of like add a little liquid to it.
He's just making like a salad wine smoothie.
He's trying to make a salad wine smoothie. I'm gonna say, for a salad wine smoothie, unless Dan, unless you can, no, none of your skills would do it. I feel like I feel like it's physical. I feel like it really is about the physical manipulation.
Yes, it must be. Yes.
All right, make a physical roll to make a salad smoothie with red wine with a Merlot base.
I will expend a power cube to give myself an extra die on this.
Makes sense.
God,
be 13, be 13, be 13.
10. Unfortunately, not a 13. Even though 3d6 plus 2 is one of the better spreads to get a 13 with this dice.
Rawlings, you do a pretty good job. It is much closer to what you can handle.
Yeah. And at this point, my eyes are red. Like, this is the most solid food I have eaten in probably like 5 years. Maybe 3 years, but like a while.
Yeah, the most solid food you've eaten in 3 years?
Yes. I only have liquid-based nutrients.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Which realm is this character from again?
He's from Merkshire.
Okay, interesting.
Do you not have soups in this domain?
You only eat soups?
I would say I only drink light soups.
I drink broths. I consume liquids and some.
Do I know enough about human anatomy to know things come out of them?
Honestly, you may not, because that's not how it works for you guys.
Oh, okay, so then that's perfectly normal to me. It's possible.
You're like,
not weird.
Weird. You must have a really wet top hole. Anyway, guys, so as Rawlings consumes his wine smoothie, Juliet the Oubliette.
Yes.
Another cabinet opens for you. On it are a rusted, oubliette blood-soaked knife and several things that you have not seen in years. There's a little stuffed oubliette toy. There's some like tickets to a concert with pinholes in them. There's a notebook. These were the belongings of your roommate in college.
That's disturbing. Do I resist fear on this one?
Do you go to it? Or will you try to sort of like avoid it? If you just see it and you're not approaching at this point, it's certainly very scary, but nothing is sort of...
I think I would probably approach it.
As you go to look, you notice that among these effects, there's a photograph of you and your friend. Are you taking a look at this photograph, Dan? Okay, cool. There's a photograph of you and your friend, but disturbingly, your friend has been scratched up on the photo, with lines cutting into her sort of, her body stock where she was sliced and unzippered. There are also lines drawn on your body. And in writing that you recognize from the message you saw on the wall, it simply says, "Your time has come. Please roll a resist fear."
Don't like that. Don't like that. I'm going to use some power cubes. Yep. Alright, here we go. Okay. 3, and a 1, 24.
A 24. That is unfortunately not high enough. You are so
Damn
close. Juliet the Oubliette. So close. Juliet the Oubliette, as you become terrorized and your you know, like the appendage sacs that are responsible for pumping various fluids up and down your passage, as those begin going, your eyes focus on a fourth purple light.
There are 4 lights.
Now, there are 4 lights, and though you have a tremendous amount of fear, at least you know there are 4 lights.
Okay, I'm going to start yelling again in my language. I don't want to be here anymore. The deal is off. Take your money back. I'm leaving. Let me out.
And Rawlings, sadly, all you hear is squish, squish, squish. You know.
Squelch, squelch.
Squelch, squelch. So as Rawlings tries to drink this, Rawlings, I need you to make another resist fear yourself.
All right. That's a 9.
Okay, cool. So a 5th light ignites, and Rawlings, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. This is kind of like, you try to do this, and as you go, and sorry to anyone, I saw in chat some people said they were eating a second ago, I just looked at chat, so apologies. But you drink this, and like, you can feel the little pieces of lettuce in your teeth. Like, you feel the solidity of it, and you just absolutely freak out, like coughing this like wine-stained, you know, sort of lettuce and pieces of salad all over like the white walls. So it almost looks like someone's being like slashed.
I assume I like start throwing up.
Yeah, you probably do, although you haven't really consumed that much. It's more of just like I think at this point it's more just like a like violent coughing. It's
okay,
a sort
right,
of like
yeah.
it's a horrified coughing. And Juliet, you do notice a 5th light. So now there are 5 lights. 6 if you count the red in the middle. Five purple lights. As you two sort of deal with these horrors that you're being faced with, we're going to go back to Elutella. Because that's the structure of today's game. Weird stuff. Elutella, an interesting thing happened as you made your way through this facility.
Per usual, yes.
At least initially. You'd sort of go through a corridor, and you would see a comm panel just flash white for a second. Almost as if indicating where to go. When you went that way, you would hear like people passing behind where you just were. You're basically being led through this facility.
Oh.
To somewhere sort of more safe. However, you eventually come to a set of doors that it sort of blinks once towards them, but these doors do not automatically unlock for you the way the others have. And I think no rolls required. You realize, as you've kind of gone deeper into the facility, which does seem to be a mid-sized independent station, so you are not on Rocket Base 95. As far as you know, that's just been destroyed.
And is it familiar to me? Does it seem like it's a part of the same conglomeration?
Oh, it's an AG. It's an Arlington Growth. It's your company.
Oh.
Like, you're wearing a uniform. Like, you may have even been spotted by 1 or 2 people, and you just walk past, like, they're like, okay, whatever. You know, like, we're not sure who that Moth Woman of Rosera 6, or Moth Women of...
I think Rosera 5. You know, I have relatives on all of the Rosera planets. So...
on Rosera 6. Moth Woman of Rosera 6. Anyway, so as you sort of are glancing around, like occasionally you're noticed, but you've mainly come here sort of secretly, but there is a console here now.
I will go to it.
Wonderful.
And may I, would I know how to pull up a map of the facility?
Yeah, no rolls required for that with your hack skill and the fact that you are like a technician. That's absolutely fine.
Okay. I will do that and see if I can Do I see an access point into the airtight?
You believe that you have actually, like, this door that you're at, this is that, but you notice that it is files to see the floor plan of this facility are restricted.
Ah, of course. Can I use my sense to... No. Well, what is my clearance level?
You have a pretty high clearance.
Does my clearance allow me to see the maps?
Make an insight roll. You only have 2 for these, so I'm super on board with this. It's just a 2D for your dread.
That is a 10.
A 10 is what you needed. I said it will be improbable but not impossible with a 2D. You go instinctively to enter your command code, and then you realize, but then they'll know I'm here.
How? Do I know anyone else's command code?
Ooh, cool. Let's make a retroactive sense roll to see if you ever saw another high-level person's command code.
Okay, so that'll be 3.
I'm into that. I like that idea a lot. That's very fun.
It's only an 11.
An 11. You think you saw much of Annette Young's command code when she was entering it, but you don't know the whole thing.
Okay, can I use a calculate to try to, like,
Fill in the gaps.
eliminate possibilities? Yeah.
Roll a calculate. I love this. Is great. Actually, your analyze and calculate are the same, so I'm gonna say it's kind of like a combination of, like, thinking of her and, like, thinking of what, you know.
Ooh, okay.
You're looking for a 20 right now.
Oh, I don't think I have it. 17.
You're a few digits short.
Wait, I can use a power cube, right?
You're supposed to use them before, but if you want to throw 1 on right now, you can.
I
So
will.
it'll be a.
That's a 5. Got it.
So deduct a power cube, but you do in fact.
Oh, did I gain any power cubes in the beginning?
You gain 3.
Fuck yes.
You found
Okay.
3 in the little place you were hiding. The power cubes
So
thing is so
I have-
goofy. I do think it's funny, but it's so silly. All right, so with that, you do manage to deduce what her command code would be.
Yes. Okay.
And you type that in to get a layout of the facility. Excellent type acting. As you do so,
Thank you.
the screen fills with a schematic of the facility. You see that you are at a door leading to a smaller little section, and there is an air gap ring with no basically like networking technology between it and this next area. You see that in the center of that, there is a sort of like an observation deck. And then in the middle of this observation deck, there is this smaller chamber, something that would maybe see, it seems to have like the area to fit like maybe like 3 to 5 beings, and there's a bunch of these weird cabinets on the outside of it, and these are fed into by various, so like people can put things in those and manipulate them from the outside. You also see, that's all you would see from this layout.
Okay. That's fair.
And with
Can I like rotate the schematic or anything?
Yeah, you can rotate it a bit.
Okay, and is there anything else of note? That
Yeah,
I
there's
see
like a stationary drone positioned about 30 meters above the top window looking down.
A protective drone, I'm assuming.
No, it seems to be it seems to be an air-gapped observational drone.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You suspect that drone is probably where the information is.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it probably has a lot of information. Okay, so I would like to attempt to go into that door. Oh, does the schematic show any life signs, or is it just a map?
The schematic would not. You're just looking at a map.
Is there a way to like change the function and see if like detect life signs?
Make a hack roll for me.
Okay. Let's go. Ooh, I rolled a 6 on my.
So okay, your dread dice is 6. You get to roll that again. Very
Okay,
good.
So, but I add that on top of everything.
You
right?
add, so you count the 6,
Then
then
I-
add it again and add that on top. Correct.
Okay. What's 12 plus 8?
20.
Oh, thank you. Duh. 2. So 22.
Very good. 22 is good. You aren't by definition you cannot get any information from in there. It's air gapped.
Even just like life signs.
No, there's no sensors are in there. That's how it's designed.
Damn it! I
So
rolled
that-
a really good thing for nothing.
But
Okay.
with what you rolled, you see an interesting thing has happened. This thing that you did for Annette Young has actually pinged. And there's a. I'm gonna let you use your 22 to get rid of this. So basically, you do that, and you're like, no, it's all air gapped in that sense. But then you realize that you set off like a little like flag, because basically an alert has come up saying, warning: a deceased employee is having their account accessed. But you managed to, you change her to alive, you clear stuff out, and then you change her back to deceased, and it's fine.
Yes.
So Elutella, you understand what the layout of where you're going is.
Yes.
But you know nothing about what you will find in there, because by definition, nothing is being recorded in that area that is on the current system.
Fair enough.
But you're at this door.
I would like to try to proceed through the door.
Because
I would like to, like, make sure there's no one around.
Yeah, you've checked, and
Okay, no roll.
you in fact have. Well, I mean, if you want to do a sense roll, I suppose you can, because it's an opportunity for things to go wrong.
No, it's
Yeah, sure.
fine.
No. Okay, so you because you've entered a code, you can key this door open.
Okay,
And-
I will do that.
The door opens, and you see a sort of space, kind of a walkway in open space, but it's like within a bubble that you can go into. The door will close, and then you see this walkway. You're kind of like looking down from here. There are a couple of other people on the walkway that you can sort of spot in the distance, but as of yet, you think maybe if you're able to sneak, you can remain undetected. However, below you, you see an observation sort of like facility, and then in the center of it, you do see this odd pod, and all you can really see of it is the top window. You can't see into it based on your angle, but so you are looking down onto this central pod below you, about 10 meters down. 20 meters above you is that drone.
Okay, and do I is there any? Do I? Let me think. Everyone, shut up. No, I'm kidding. Can I? Is there a way to? No, I can't access it because it's airlocked.
Air gapped, yeah.
Right?
I mean,
So even if I'm in the tube, it won't allow me to access it?
Make a... Oh, damn, you have wings, too. That makes this much easier for you. Please make a sense roll for me. And then we'll go back to our trapped people. And apologies to everyone, because we're spaced out here.
Oh, that's bad. 4.
You don't see any way out of your current tunnel,
Oh, okay.
other than to go into the, like, research center.
I will just go in there and then.
Understood.
See
Are you
if I
going
can-
to... Why don't you just make... You should do a sneak. You're not really great at sneaking, so this may not go great.
I can fly.
You have 2D for sneaking.
Well, okay.
It's hard to sneak when you're a giant moth woman with huge glittery wings.
Double D's for sneaking.
8?
Yes. 4.
Double D's for sneaking. You begin sneaking, and you notice that some people actually notice you from across the thing, and they start moving through the hallway towards you. And as like some of these guards are moving to you, like, wait a second, like hold on. They see you're in a uniform, but they're confused about who you are. As they rush towards you, we're gonna cut back inside the pod. So as Rawlings and Juliet both deal with the new horrors they've been presented with, and Pascal remains there motionless on his cot.
Well, now that the wall has been, now that I've sufficiently started the process of trashing the place, I will. Once I'm done with everything here, I will take some more of the wine and I'll like swish it around in my mouth, like get some of the residue out and spit it on the floor.
Sure.
Ugh. You know, for a place so technologically advanced, they're quite uncivilized.
I would react to that, but I'm still probably too engrossed by.
No, we're you guys freaked out together for a while, so now you can speak to each other. Yeah,
we can speak to each other.
We cut away while you were.
All right, so I'm just gonna scoff and be like, "That's rude." Say some unflattering things in oubliette about human physiology.
Anything like
So what were all the things on the slab? It was a picture.
It was
concert ticket.
You saw pictures, some concert tickets, like her notebook, you know, some but also kind of like set separately and much more menacingly, a knife, like a rusty curved blade, perfect for unzippering oubliettes.
Can I grab the knife?
You can.
I'm just gonna hold
wrap around it with an appendage sack, you know.
Tuck it in. It might be useful at some point.
One of those down there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Now I have the knife.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
So basically, wielding this thing's now wielding this like sickle-like knife. Another cabinet opens next to you, Rawlings.
Yes.
Again?
This cabinet is probably the most palatable for you, as it contains the soup course.
Yeah.
The French onion veal consommé, conger eel bouillabaisse, and split pea soup. I present it to you. Some of those are actually probably not going to be too hard on a Rawlings.
Yeah. Yeah. I look at Julia and say, well, and like at this point, like my face is red, like tears are running, like my eyes are puffy, like tears are running down my face, like and there's like probably like splatter on my jumpsuit that I've been forced into.
I'm
like,
surprised he has not vomited anything yet.
Yet being the operative word there. I will, and I'm like kind of like carrying myself weird, like hand on my stomach. I have like the mostly full bottle of wine, or the half full second bottle of wine in my hand. Like, I'm just taking that with me for like palate cleansing and shit like that now. At this point.
Wine is the palate cleanser.
More like the state of matter cleanser.
I understand.
And I'll just look like with this like grim look, like just grim set face, and the only way out is through. Unless you have some means of blasting a hole out of here, or some vessel that can come and take us out of here, the only way out is through. You are a fortune teller. Can you divine a different way out? Do the sooths tell you anything differently?
The soups tell me anything.
Sooths, not the soups, the sooths.
The soups? What are the soups?
I'm a soothsayer.
I've never heard of a sooth. They don't have soothsayers here in this realm.
My ray gun wouldn't blast us out of here, right? Like, I don't have a sense of that.
You probably don't have a ray gun, actually. None of you would have weapons. I guess I should clarify that. Sorry. Yeah, you have one, but it's not with you. That was.
They didn't let me bring it with me
when you were drugged. Yeah, but now you got a knife, so that's good.
Can I see if there's another way out of here? Like, can I see if I can sense anything or find anything?
I believe you guys have already tried that, but go ahead and do a sense roll.
Do it again. I haven't done it this session, Philip. That is 15, 21, 22, 25.
With a 25, though you can see that these cabinets are probably removable, and you may even suspect that's how you guys, like, one of these cabinets, when opened, is how they even brought you in. Aside from forcing them, you don't see any other means out.
What if I got in the cabinet and he closed it?
He could try to close you in a cabinet. The Grim probably, but this is the only one that's large enough to, like, accommodate you.
Is the one with
would be the one with the corpse in it.
Nope, not doing
and
that.
You could, of course, pull
the
corpse out and go in where the corpse was if you want.
No, not touching the corpse. Nope.
That would be rough.
No, I'm afraid that there is well, I cannot deduce any way out. Have I taken Rawlings' fortune yet?
No, I don't think you've done his fortune yet.
Can I take his fortune?
You may make a fortune-telling roll on Rawlings.
I'm doing it without his consent.
That's fine.
He doesn't know that I'm doing this.
No, I have no clue what you're doing. Nothing that I understand nothing about your physiology, and therefore I understand nothing.
you
Max
can't.
are just wobbling.
Eye tongues kind of.
And that exploded.
Ooh, hey! You guys have had some good explosions tonight.
If I get another 6, does it explode again?
It explodes again if you explode on a 6. This is your 7D roll, so you're probably going to go really high.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 12, 14. Oh god, there's so much math to do.
That is the thing about this system. There's a
14,
lot of adding
18,
stuff up.
20, 24, 27, 30, 33.
A 33. That's pretty damn good. With a 33, you look at Rawlings. You see Rawlings. Kind of like a, do you think Juliet has visions that are sort of like that she has to interpret, or do you think she sort of is it in more like probability terms and she just picks?
I was thinking more like probability terms.
Understood.
And, like, flashes.
Then I won't give you like a poetic thing of Rawlings.
Was that showing numbers where like the math dude would just see the equations and stuff like shit like that?
Science as per the imagination of So Juliet, looking at Rawlings, you see Rawlings having a very high likelihood of being used as a pawn by numerous different individuals. You do see Rawlings. You seem to think Rawlings will survive this chamber.
Oh, okay.
The probability of him dying here is maybe like 25 or 30%. So certainly there, but the odds are that he will get out of here and be of use to.
Do I have a sense of what the most likely cause of his death could be?
I'll say with a 33. Most likely cause of death is some kind of like violence, some kind of like physical attack from some entity.
I was gonna guess choking.
Interestingly, it does not seem choking is his most likely cause. That's on there, but no, he seems to.
But more likely that he will be violently attacked.
Yeah.
By who?
Given your probabilities, it's probably, but because of his being a pawn for things, he'll inevitably be. That's your probabilities. Old age in bed is at like a 0.001%.
Oh. So his death is very likely to be violent, just not in this room.
His death is, there's a 90% chance Rawlings will die within 1 standard year.
Interesting.
Actually, probably 94%. It would be higher than that, let's face it.
Let's just round it up and call it 95.
Yeah. Rawlings, are you consuming the soups? I will tell you, just for if you don't recall the ones I said.
Yeah.
The veal consomme is a cakewalk for you.
Yeah, I would start with the split pea. That seems like it'd be the hardest.
Split pea would be the veal the conger eel bouillabaisse has a lot of big thick pieces in it.
Yeah.
So is Juliet consuming any of this, or is she leaving all the soup to Rawlings?
She'll consume the veal consomme.
Yeah, the
Hey, look at you. No, this is what I can do.
No.
I'm gonna hold that one.
Understood.
Help me.
I'll just like lean forward, like into it, and start slurping it up.
Get
I'm
your high
helping.
tongues away from me.
I'm helping.
He's like, then help me with the split pea.
I would assume he would want help with the French onion.
The French onion's tricky because it's very brothy, but it's got little pieces floating in it, and the big
It's
thing.
got
on the
onion. Well,
top-
does it have the bread and the cheese on
Yeah,
top
it's got the
too?
bread and the cheese on the top.
All
Yeah.
right. So there you go.
But the
Not this one. This one's fine. This one I can do. The rest of them, dig in, please.
She drinks the veal consomme.
are you guys fighting
It's
over the
a little tagline in there that goes, "Rawlings will remember that."
Actually, no. In this case, I need both Rawlings and Juliet the Oubliette to please just make a kind of like a brawl roll.
A brawl roll.
Yeah, you guys are just you're fighting over
We're
the veal
fighting
consomme.
over the veal
That's
consomme.
amazing.
I don't understand why this
11.
is so obsessed with it.
It's fantastic.
Okay. Oh shit! I lost a die. Hold on. But it's gonna be higher than 11 then.
Well, maybe. What if you had an explosion?
I used a power game just to be an asshole. So it's 17.
So basically, Rawlings, some of the veal consomme splashed, but most of it went down the gullet of Juliet the Oubliette, who's now confused that you didn't want her to drink that.
I'm helping. Why is he so ungrateful?
Rawlings will remember that.
I lost a die.
And I'll just take another swig of wine and just reach for the nearest bowl and go for it.
All right. You drink the soup. It's just so much thicker than you'd want it to be. We won't go into more gross details of this, but go ahead and just make me another resist fear roll.
Talk about how I can feel it pressing against the insides of my esophagus as it goes down my throat, and I can.
We won't talk about
feel,
that.
I
But
can
yeah.
feel the. Like, we're not going to talk about. I can feel the additional weight of it in my stomach, mixing with everything that's already there. We won't talk about how like the different flavors like also kind of interact in weird ways.
Let it be known that I'm not the only one who's guilty of things.
Okay.
It's
Resist
not all
fear?
my fault. Yeah.
Well, that's 2 1s on the regular dice, but a 6 on the exploding dice. Let's go
Ooh.
again.
If you
Another-
keep exploding, you might just make it.
I know, right? No, I'm not going to. That's a 10. I keep rolling fucking 10s on these. Jesus.
There are now 6 lights. But we'll say sort of it happens after you've consumed some soup course satisfying the requirements.
All right.
Rawlings also does remember that like this is a meal meant to be like shared by like 4 or 5, like 4 to 6
Yeah.
people, so it's just this is
Yeah.
horrific.
And what are the? What's the? Is it just spoons with this course?
Yeah, just spoons.
Okay. All right. Then I will just. I mean, afterwards, I'm gonna have some more wine and just kind of recompose myself a little bit more. I assume. What color were these jumpsuits originally?
These would have been white. This is a real like everything's like white.
These are not.
So, yeah, it's
The suit. About like this portion of the jumpsuit is not really white anymore.
all right, Rawlings.
Sorry, I lost a die and I cannot find it.
That is a terrible feeling. We are going to cut
There
back
it
to
is.
Elutella. Elutella, there are some people sort of running for you, some security troopers.
And they are in the airtight place, or
They are within this ring that you're in. Yes, they're being like,
Uh,
wait, like
if
freeze,
they're-
hold on. What are you doing here?
research. And can I hop behind a door and like activate it to shut?
There's no doors within, so basically you're just like there's like a ring and there's an entry into the facility around this ring, but it's kind of like this ring is almost like a part of the observation deck. There's no doors within it. There's the door that you came to that leads to the rest, and there's a door into the facility, and they're kind of just patrolling back and forth in here.
Yes. Okay. I am doing research. Highly classified.
Make a deceive roll.
Oh no, that's very low. Oh, 6. I'm gonna add a.
You have to do it before.
Oh fuck. Okay.
We let you do it last time, but you got to do it before you make the roll. So.
But I technically am. I'm not lying.
Here doing research. All right, they'll say what's your they'll say you're not on our list. They have like a print out list of who's supposed to be here. And they're like, there's no moth women on our list.
Oh well, how rude. And I wouldn't be, would I?
You would be. No one's in here who's not on the list. We're on the list, and they point at themselves on the list.
Oh, I do see that.
One's got his
Well,
one's like really pointing a ray gun at you.
It appears that you don't have the level of security clearance that I do.
We take her out or in. And the other one says, we're not supposed to take anybody out of here. And so he says, move it, and he is gesturing for you to go forward into the like observation area.
Very well.
Okay.
I'll go.
You'll be moved in. You are marched into an observation area. Inside you see primarily it's primarily like humans in here. A few people, I don't know if it's actually anyone you recognize. But there is this one human who you've definitely seen around Rocket Base 95. He kind of looks up and says, "Who the hell is this?" And the guards say, "We found her out there in the facility." And he kind of walks over to you. This guy is like, he's like a kind of handsome, sort of like gruff looking dude. You know, you've seen him working. He's some kind of higher up at AG, though you do get the sense, you've never, like, he's never gone to any of like your general like running meetings. So he's for some other department. He had nothing to do with the facility of Rocket Base 95. But he looks at you and says, "You're Elutella. You're reported as being dead."
Well, there were a lot of miscommunications based on what happened on Rocket Base 95. I'm actually here to discuss that.
Really? You notice as somebody says incoming, and you notice as a small drone flies into like an airlock and then comes into the chamber. It seems like there's a smaller drone going back and forth from the main drone and like delivering information to them directly. They do have various computers here, none of which are air gapped. And they start transferring some information and sort of saying, "All right, he's on to the soup course." And he's like, "Okay, let's fire up the stakes then." And they say, what about for her? He goes, "She's lower priority now." And he kind of looks at you and says, Do you know a man named Rawlings? Technician, Elutella?
I'm not overly familiar, but I have heard the name.
Yeah.
He was on Rocket Base 95.
You were in a conference room with him, right?
Was I?
You were. That's where you guys got locked by the robots.
I was. It was a very complicated situation.
Is Annette Young alive?
I'm sorry, is what?
Is Annette Young alive?
Complicated.
That's not complicated. She's either alive or she's not, or you don't know.
I don't know.
Apparently they're fighting over one of the soups. He goes, "That's interesting. That's very interesting. All right, what's the count at?" And he's like, "It's at 6 now." He's like, okay. And he says, "Let's fire up the grill and let's get the..." He just looks at you and says,
"Is this
"Listen,
a catering company now?"
I can't imagine, unless you actually have clearance to be here, I can't imagine you're not in big trouble being here. So why do you tell me...
Why would I be in big trouble?
Because this is a very secure site, and you're not supposed to be in here.
Then why am I in here?
That's what I'm wondering. Unless this is... there's no way for me to check on if this is kosher. I simply know that you're not supposed to be here. Since you're not on my list... Do you have like new orders?
Can I go to one of the computers?
If you start walking to one, he'll kind of like half block you, but
Do I have okay, if he tries, then I will say I can show you my orders.
Go ahead, show me your orders. He said he like points to one of the terminals. Go ahead, bring up your orders.
Can I do a hack roll and see if I can communicate with the what is it?
The awareness?
The awareness.
Not sure you're really grasping the understanding of what air gapped means.
It's the awareness.
Okay, go ahead and make a hack roll.
Oh, but the awareness can't. Oh, even the because then they would get then they would have had the. Actually, can I still roll a hack to see if I can pull up something from like my file or a net's that would grant me this kind of access?
Go ahead and do a hack roll. And I feel like I'm punishing Lauren a little bit for the plan she's doing, because I could see Elutella attempting some kind of like, I could see Elutella like attempting some kind of crazy hack. Let's just see what you roll.
But I am going to add 2
Force cubes?
power cubes.
Force cubes.
Power,
Force is the other game. Power cubes. There we go.
Okay, so.
Wait.
6.
What? You guys don't? My handsome characters you're suspicious of? What? What are you guys saying in chat? No. The handsome ones are the nicest. There's
Handsome characters are always suspicious.
There's that guy, the Drifter. He was so cool. Oh my god, I hope in my life I'm ever able to tell a girl to call me sir. That way she'll respect me.
Okay. I rolled moderately well.
Okay.
So, 11.
You need a pretty high number here. Tell you what, I'm gonna write down the number you need before you say your number, just so there can be a dramatic reveal. Okay. To hack something into this, what do you got?
28.
You were almost close. So basically, you start trying to hack, and you're gonna be like, let me just like move a thing in. And as you get in, you have this sinking feeling, and he's kind of like smirking behind you, kind of like chuckling as you realize this little air-gapped computer system they have does not have the main files on it. So there's no result for Elutella or Annette Young. There's nothing in here for either of you. You don't exist on this network. So you can't even, like, bring yourself up as a person who, you know, who was on there. So as you sort of try to hack your way through, and you're just like, and knowing that he was just looking, you know, there's no way to, like, bring one in and update stuff. You just understand. You're like, yeah. With a 28, however... Go ahead.
Oh, God.
No, go ahead.
No, I will turn around.
He's just smirking at you with this. And in case it's not clear, I guess because I sometimes present these as in movies, this guy is the same guy who was in the opening scene with Juliet last time. He's that same dude who recruited her.
Okay. Shady motherfucker.
He's good looking, so who cares? Go ahead. What if I told you he was the who's it? Ooh, what if I told you he's the dude from The Bear? He's that guy.
Okay, look, that's not fair.
Yeah, it isn't fair. I don't play fair. Ha ha!
You cannot tell me that he looks like Jeremy Allen White and expect
He looks
me to pay
like
attention.
Jeremy Allen White. That's his vibe. Yeah.
I gotta Google this guy to see who he is.
Oh my god.
That's one specifically for Liv based on words she's said. So Elutella, I'm sorry. So as you're looking at Jeremy Allen White.
Jeremy Allen White in The Bear especially.
Sure. With that haircut. So Elutella, he's kind of just like, yeah, like I said. And unless you have a, we're old hard copy with the proper code saying that you're supposed to be here, you're not.
Well, this is a complicated situation, isn't it?
I mean, it's really not. I mean, it is complicated, but you're not. I'm curious how you got in, though. All right.
What do you think? If it's so secure.
know you were a tech person. Maybe you wouldn't have
Not
the
this
code.
good, apparently.
God, I don't think you'd have had the codes to get in. Well, you're probably gonna have your brain wiped, just so you're aware.
Okay.
But since you're a high-value company asset, you might as well make yourself useful while you're in here.
I am loyal to a fault.
I understand. Well, the AG company will appreciate it before we, frag your brain. He kind of leads you over to a console and says, we've actually been having a little bit of trouble. We've had to purge one of these folders several times. It's not based on a network problem. It's I don't know. Could you take a look at some of this code?
Certainly. And can I ask, what have you heard about Rocket Base 95?
Rocket Base 95 is perfectly functional again. We took out the bots. We're up and running. No more relying on machines, though. I'll tell you that. And we're trying to and areas like this that are air gapped. We're going to be having more of those in the future. If you wind up back on the central command deck, you'll probably be in a little air gap facility from now on.
Oh, well, we'll see after my brain is wiped.
Check that out. See if you can figure out a way to defrag this data. He kind of gestures at some data. So go ahead and make one more hack roll, and then we'll get to the others. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, I will throw on another 2 power cubes, though.
Okay, you're probably running low at this point, right?
You know what? Go big or go home.
I get it. All right, so a hack with that.
I rolled a 1 on my dread cube.
So take away the dread cube and then take away whatever the next highest die is.
God damn it, that was a 6.
Oh, great. Amazing. And then please somehow, with your remaining dice, please add up to 13.
It was 19.
19.
Those were all very high.
19 actually is pretty darn good.
Yes.
You don't have a complete hold on it, but you realize, you don't know what, you're not sure what's going on in here, but you realize that this data is being stored. What is being collected as this data is something unlike anything you've ever seen before, and you haven't rolled high enough to offer a solution for fixing what is sort of going buggy. But you do know that, for example, from the current thing, from the current session that's open, based on what has just been delivered, there are 6 separate packets.
Okay.
In this file format. And it's very hard to understand. It's almost like they're gathering bio data. But it's not the same as bio data.
Do I sense that it's connected to what they were talking about the soups and the courses and...
Make an insight roll. It's under your dread.
Okay. 1 again, because... Ooh! Exploding die! 6 and a 5, so,
okay.
11.
But then roll the d6 again. Oh my god, roll a 2, roll a 2.
No. 15 total.
15 total. That's pretty good. Gran. Yes. You think they're measuring something in there, and so far they have 6 packets of data. They've managed to measure something 6 times and convert it into binary code.
Okay. And I can't tell whether it's connected to what they were talking about.
You suspect whatever they're doing is connected to whatever weird stuff they're saying is connected to this experiment. Yes.
And did I ever hear about Rawlings' weird issues with food?
I think in the time you were with him, no, you guys have not.
Okay.
No, that would not have been.
We never got to that level of friendship.
No, you guys were too busy. You were just trying to survive. But now you're
I just
understanding.
realized, I was like, are we fighting the monsters from Monsters, Inc.?
Sense, I suppose you are. So Elitella, as you sort of look at this, you look at this thing and you're not completely certain what it means.
Okay.
But you hear kind of the guy behind you. And I'll also just sort of say, Elitella, in spite of the bad situation you're in, your submission, you are now fascinated by figuring out what this code is for and how to sort of improve it. So you do kind of have a little job here. But it is at this moment you hear him say, he says, the beef's done. And he's like, God, I kind of envy them. This asshole in there, he should be enjoying this. Do you have any leftover? And the guy says, you know what, we have a little left over. And someone comes up from like a lower thing, bringing in a plate of it's basically like really, really good like Chateaubriand that has been charred on the outside and is raw in the middle. It's a black and blue, which is a big part of how he orders it in the book. So as he says, he goes, yeah, go ahead and bring it into them. So Elitella, you see some of the techs all walk over and like have a couple of like bites of high quality beef, because you're like, what the hell's going on? Rawlings, as you and Juliet the Oubliette, Rawlings, you kind of like just barely getting over that, Juliet, you looking for a way out, as another cabinet opens and a massive, the largest cut of meat you've ever seen, black on the outside, trapping the blood within. The smell of it kind of making your mouth water Rawlings in the least appetizing way possible. Juliet, you see this huge like dinosaur steak coming out.
It's like black with blood inside, so it's the most.
It's they call it a black and blue, so it's
yeah. I was gonna say it's black and blue. It's a Philadelphia
steak, exactly. I would have. Anyone here knew what it was called, you were gonna know it was a Philadelphia. Do you know how they say they come up with that? Do you know what the origin of that is? They say it's that somebody would come to some foundry in Philly, some like
and they would just like throw their steak down,
throw it onto like the superheated like steel foundry things, and just cook it on the outside of that and sell it to the guys.
Shit. It's the best way to eat steak, I will say.
Oh, I love it.
Preferred.
It's my favorite thing. That's why I wrote a book about it. That was the first idea for that book. So yeah, Ross.
Are there one of the large empty soup bowls left?
Sure. No one's cleared the dishes in here, so yes, there's
Great.
a large.
I'm gonna take one of these large empty bowls, and if it's one that I didn't take the biggest one. If it's not empty, I'm just gonna dash the rest of it on the ground.
Oh no, the veal consomme. She drank it all. The steak is
how many ounces?
It's huge. It's comically massive.
I assume they're like knives to cut it with, right?
Yeah, it's like a triple thick like porterhouse. So it's for six. It's a steak for 6. Well, for 4 if you're gonna do it right.
I will take the bowl.
Okay. So it's like at least 90 ounces.
I would say it's 90 ounces.
Oh my god, talk about a dream date.
And probably more than that because it's probably bone in.
Oh yeah. I'll take the bowl. I'll go over to the steak. I'm gonna take one of the knives.
Okay.
I'm gonna just cut off a chunk. I'm gonna try and cut off a chunk. I'm gonna set the bowl beneath this thing that's rolled out. Cut off a chunk and just let it splash in there and let some of the blood collect in there as well.
Understood. So Rawlings, as you cut it in and you're trying to this liquid, at this moment, Juliet the Oubliette, as he slices into this meat, a sound is sort of played over the speakers in this chamber. And it's kind of like at a low frequency, but because of your high senses, you hear it. Juliet, as he slices into that, you can hear the sound that an oubliette stalk would make if someone were cutting into that. And your mind almost instinctively flashes on the unzipper, a knife like the one you're holding, just cutting through someone.
Don't like that. Can I resist fear again?
Sure, please resist fear.
Okay. That's, I keep forgetting how many that is. It's 5. I'm gonna roll an extra one.
Understood. Roll a 1 and then roll a 13. This would be so good for me. Roll a 1 on your dread die and then
roll a 13. I will not roll a 13 in this room, Philip.
I love it so bad.
I rolled a 6 on my dread die.
Oh, well then you're probably gonna be okay here.
And then a 1. But I rolled a 6 first.
The 6 first, yeah, the 1 doesn't count the second time.
7, 10, 21, 23. Not enough.
25 is the number you're shooting for these. So you're so close to it once again. But as you try to resist the fear, and it's basically like your sensor sacks hearing and tasting and seeing that, and you're sort of drawing the thing to it, and like you know something's hearing.
Smelling the charred flesh.
And you're like, no. But all you can picture is like jump cut to unzippering, jump cut to just absolute terror as Juliet goes crazy again. And you notice a 7th light up above.
I wonder how many lights we're going to need to light up.
Just how many packets of data could they collect is all.
Right.
As the 7th light ignites, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Don't like.
I'm sorry, guys. And please also, please tell if this one is getting too intense and
no,
rough,
it's good.
Oh, this is delightful.
Also, before we go into our chatting and stuff, we had 2 raids.
Oh my god, hello, raids.
Subsequently, and there's a lot of people sticking around, so thank you guys. I know it's
hello.
like weird stuff going on.
Yeah, you came here for our sort of there's an experiment in fear going on, and I think between the two, neither group knows what the other one, but Elutel is collecting these weird data packets of something, and the other group, every time they get incredibly scared to their core, some light comes up above them. How strange. What could that be in this game? So, well, thank you all. Well, thank you, Raiders, for coming in. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. I hope today's was not too gross for people who are eating. Thank you, Apostrophe This, for gifting subs. That's so nice of you to do that. It's very appreciated.
I'm sorry, it was 1 raid, but all the raiders were so active. I thought it was 2.
Understood. Two raids worth of activity from 1 raid.
Swole Initiative.
Oh, Swole Initiative. Thanks so much,
guys.
Swole Initiative. We appreciate that.
As Dave would say, thank you guys so much.
That's so kind of you guys to come over. So this was a fun one. Join us next week to see more horrible things in this chamber. I also want to we have a bunch of weird Star Wars things coming up here in the next sort of weeks, culminating in August when we start a couple new games. But this coming Sunday, we have a one-shot for you. It's called Ray of Light. Ooh, what? But how's it spelled is the question. So yeah, our Ray of Light one-shot is this Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm so excited about it. And it basically serves as a way for me to, rather than make some decisions about a subsequent game I'm running, to just have other people roll the dice and decide through their actions and such, which is my favorite thing. I think everyone here will be there for that one. So it should be a lot of fun. So join us on Sunday. I think on Monday we might do a Just Chatting, but we actually might be just dark this week, like a Broadway theater would be on a Monday evening. And then on Tuesday, we have another session of Murder by Murder. And I gotta tell you, now that we did 3, we finally had a murder of a character who, arguably, I made so unlikable that the players have all said, no one cares who killed him, that person did a good thing. So...
Tell them what it's based on, Philip.
Murder by Murder is an Agatha Christie sort of like cozy murder mystery using an original system called the Christie system. So far, it's actually been working really well, although KJ cannot understand a binary path. Like, we're trying to explain to her, she keeps getting excited about having high rolls, and we're like, it doesn't matter if it's 5 or higher, you pass. And she's like, but I got an A+, right? We're like, no, you got it. She refuses. We're like, it's pass-fail. She's like, pass-plus? Like, nope, that's something at Disneyland. All right, in any case,
It's actually Genie Plus, but...
Is Fast Pass just gone? There's no more Fast Pass?
Nope.
Fast Passed. Fast Pass.
We'll talk about it on Monday.
Fast Pass in the past. All right, well, with that, yeah, so join us on Sunday for Ray of Light, Monday maybe for Just Chatting, and then Tuesday for Murder by Murder, and next Friday for more Blood from a Stone. Thanks so much to my players. Please go to our About page to see the awesome stuff everyone here gets up to on social media, although these three, everyone here might have come here because of them being on social media, in which case you're well aware of what they get up to. And go to our Discord where we post recaps of all these games, and we chat amongst the community and all that sort of fun stuff. Go ahead, Lauren.
Also, our TikTok, Long Lost Lore. On TikTok, we're almost to 1,000, which means that I'm going to make Philip stream live just him DMing.
Yeah.
But I can't interact with anyone when we do that.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Most excellent.
Well, fair enough. Well, maybe that'll be a thing that happens. Well, great. Well, thank you all.
Or he can do like one shots with people over Twitch. Because then we can do.
Oh, we can do the. Oh, that's what it was for. I remember. What, Dan, about backgrounds? What were you saying?
So, like a background, like a green screen background.
I'll make one.
Yeah, that says like I am DMing. I can't talk to you. Come see me here.
Great. Oh wait. Hey, do you see what just got put into chat, Lauren?
The dance will happen. I've had many deaths.
Has the song been
There's been a lot. I'm choreographing
The
it.
song exists. The song's been written since. Oh, you haven't? I'll play the song for you after this. The song's been around since November, and Lauren was like, "Cool, I'll do the dance." Whatever. I take.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot has happened. But yes, we will have the dance.
Well,
soon.
everyone, thank you so much for watching. It is so appreciated. Thanks to all my players once again. I really just value you all so much. You guys bring so much to this stuff, and I appreciate all the dumb jokes we get to make together, and the rare smart ones we get to make together too.
Very rare.
So with that, thank you all. We will see you next time. Until then, have a dreadful night. Bye-bye.